from Henry Hudson Regional, and we're here in the Australian rainforest.
We're here to talk about the biodiversity, location, and temperature in the rainforest. The tropical rainforest is found in only a small portion of the Earth, only about 6%. Yet they are home to over half of the species of plants and animals in the world. The Amazon jungle is the world's largest tropical rainforest. The world's second largest tropical rainforest is found in Central America. The rainforest is located in a band around the equator, mostly in areas 23.5 degrees north latitude and 16 degrees south latitude, and longitude 95 degrees to 105 degrees east.
Tropical rainforests are most commonly found in northern South America, Central Africa, and Southeast Asia. These areas are extremely close to the equator, as the map shows.
Tropical rainforests only take up a small portion of the Earth, only about 6%. Yet they are home to over half of the species of plants and animals found on Earth. The Amazon jungle is the world's largest tropical rainforest. Central Africa holds the world's second largest rainforest. The rainforest is located in bands around the equator, mostly in areas 23.5 degrees north latitude and 16 degrees south latitude, and longitude 95 degrees to 105 degrees east.
There are specific weather and temperature patterns in the tropical rainforest, an average of 50 to 260 inches of rainfalls yearly. The rainforest belongs to the tropical wet climate group. Temperature in a rainforest rarely gets higher than 93 degrees Fahrenheit or drops below 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The average humidity is between 77 and 88%, and in monsoonal areas, there's a real dry season. That just means it won't rain in the rainforest for like a little bit. And the rainforest produces 40% of the Earth's oxygen. Now I'm going to tell you about the water cycle in the rainforest. The first thing that happens is that the sun warms the land and the sea, and then the water evaporates into the air. And then the warm air holds a lot of water vapor, but as the warm air rises, it cools. And then as warm air meets the cold air, condensation occurs and the vapor forms droplets, producing clouds in the sky. And finally, the clouds produce rain. And the water cycle repeats often in the rainforest because the rainforests are located around the equator around the world.
Scientists have counted about 100 to 300 species in a 2.5-acre area in South America. About 1/4 of all of the medicines we use come from rainforest plants. More than 1,400 varieties of tropical plants are thought to be potential cures for cancer. The extra heat on rainforests can do many things. First, it could kill many species who are unable to adapt to these changes. It can also encourage the spread of diseases affecting the creatures. It can also lead to fires in the ecosystems. Tropics are about 1 degree Celsius higher in the past century. Therefore, many of these species have evolved into thermal specialists, meaning they are only able to survive in one temperature.
Hello, I am Gabrielle Woodruff, and I'm reporting to you live from Australia in a rainforest. And I'm here to show you some cool plants and animals in a rainforest. Come on, let's go. Okay, our first example is the fork fern. Now these are the fork ferns, and these are plants in the rainforest in Australia. Let me tell you a little bit more about them.
The fork ferns are small plants that usually grow above the ground in the dane tree. They have very long and thin light green stems that poke repeatedly. The adaptations of the fork fern are it reproduces the spore cells so it can function properly and live.
Alright, now I'm going to show you guys some other plants in the rainforest. Let's go! Hello, these are the cassowary plums, and you can find these also in the rainforest in Australia. Now let me tell you a little bit more about them.
The cassowary plum can grow about to 30 meters. At 3 years old, it begins to produce white flowers and red centers, which become the signature fruits. The fruit is egg-shaped, large, smooth, and blue. The adaptations of the cassowary plum is they have long leaves to help it push and grow out of the ground.
Tell you about our last plant. Come on. Okay, and for our last plant, I'm going to tell you about the coffee plant. Can you see it? It's right over there. You probably can't because it's so far away, but I'm going to show you a picture so that way you get a little bit more idea of what it looks like. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it and its adaptations.
The coffee family is the largest plant family with over 6,000 species. They are mostly found in the tropics in the world. However, the leaves are usually opposite to the stem or arranged in a circular arrangement. The adaptations of the coffee plant are, they still have the live energy when people pick them, so the caffeine lasts so anybody can drink it in coffee.
It's really hot here, so let's finish up the plants and let's go head to the animals. Guys, look up there at the sloth climbing up the tree. And wow, look over there, it's butterflies.
Sloths spend most of their time sleeping and eating in the tropical rainforests of South and Central America. Their main source of nutrition is leaves, twigs, and fruit. This diet leaves a sloth with very little energy to move around, a low metabolism, and a low body temperature. Compared to most mammals, a sloth moves very slowly. Sloths can only climb up to 6 to 8 feet per minute. Now these cool blue morpho butterflies are the largest butterflies in the world, with wings spanning from 5 to 8 inches. Blue morphos live in tropical forests of Latin America from Mexico to Colombia. The blue morpho's diet changes throughout each stage of the life cycle. As a caterpillar, it chews leaves of many varieties, but prefers to dine on plants in the pea family.
And if you guys look really closely into this bush, you can see the really poisonous blue dart frog.
Blue poison dart frogs are small frogs, less than 2 inches long. Compared to other frogs, they have thin bodies and long skinny legs. They're brightly colored. Blue poison dart frogs catch your attention. Poison dart frogs are some of the most beautiful and poisonous creatures. Their incredible poisonous ability comes from the food they eat. The skin of a poison arrow frog stays sticky from mucus. This feature helps to hold in the moisture, and it helps tadpoles hold on tight when they are being carried from hatching site to nursery site. The toes are also important. The suction cup pads are very helpful in climbing and clinging to leaves and branches. The bright coloration is most obvious adaptation of the frogs. Although not all poison arrow frogs wear a bright warning flag, fewer poison arrow frogs are eaten during the day when predators can see them easier.
There are also tons of other species in the rainforest, which all contribute to the rainforest's large biodiversity. Let me tell you a little bit more about those.
For mammals, there are also jaguars, gorillas, lemurs, bearded pigs, woolly monkeys, elephants, and more. And for reptiles and amphibians, there are gnolls, chameleons, boa constrictors, greenbush vipers, green tree pythons, and giant monkey frogs. And you can't forget to include the birds like African gray parrot, Asian pied hornbill, peacock, toucan, milky stork, and a whole bunch of other birds. Biodiversity in the rainforest is so important. Tropical rainforests are top of the list in terms of biodiversity and biomes. They contain over 50% of the world's species, accounting for 80% of all insects and 90% of primates. A combination of climate, nutrient cycling, and sunshine help to explain how such a complex ecosystem has developed. The biodiversity, sadly, is being lost because of deforestation. Loss of biodiversity is leading to important environmental consequences, such as reduction in species, change in the nutrient and hydraulical cycles, and ultimately climate change, which isn't good for the animals. And not only is it not good for the animals, but it's not good for the plants either, because the doctors could actually use these plants to figure out new medicines to help new diseases that might come in the future, or help diseases that are already here now.